Welcome back, fans and friends. For this upcoming video, I have the third generation, not of this car, not this car. This car is the second generation. And you see, even with the plastic case, this has managed to accumulate cat hair. So, this is the release 79 version of the Chrysler 300C. You can just see there, 1957, with the firepower V8. I just want to say that because it sounds so good. But also, the reason for that is because in this upcoming video, we are doing a third generation version of this car with what was called the Golden Lion version of the engine. And so this is actually from an earlier release, R76. It happened to be on the shelf, so I decided I've already done that one, so why not do this one? And this is the 300F version. However, the one thing I'll say is I don't believe it's a 1966 because they stopped lettering this series, I think, around 1965. So it's just mislabeled. Anyway, a couple of major differences you can see already. I do like that spare tire on the rear trunk. A couple of other noticeable changes. The front grille is extremely different in this one. So other than that, we will just go ahead and take a look at this car. Obviously, they have SRT here, but they advertise 300 there. A couple of different aesthetics, obviously. It's good to change things up. And as you can see there is still a focus on the SRT. This is just the back panel of the 300C. And this is the SRT. They are doing different things here. They put Chrysler, not SRT, and then SRT here instead of 300. And then the back is very plain. We'll remember the old M2s used to have what this car can be pulled apart to reveal. And as you can see, there's some box damage. Didn't make it cheaper. Anyway, the rear license plate just says Hellcat. Why that's important for fans today, we'll note the Hellcat is one of the more powerful versions of the Charger. Anyway, to get onto it is obviously the Hellcat is that little SRT cat on the back. I did it there. Standard M2 sticker, so you can see that I haven't opened this. And once again, as always, if you do have the problem with a lot of these M2s, they are very finicky about how good they're being made. Some of them will come out really well, others will not. Not really M2, but remember the Camaro issue I had with green light was not just some of the Camaros, it was all of the Camaros. Anyway, so far I have not been disappointed with the 50s versions of cars. I do happen to like the aesthetic and a bunch of other things. You can hear there the sirens in the background. So here we have it. I do like the they have moved from the edge just in front of the gas cap, the 300, to right behind the front door. And as we can see, the car is significantly longer. Maybe I should actually take that one off. But anyway, I will try to cover this car as quickly as possible so that we can just do some quick comparisons with the other one. It does, in fact, look much longer. I believe it was a fairly large car. Cadillac, maybe not Cadillac 62 series long, but it is a fairly, let's just say, hefty car. I will save the engine for last because that is honestly one of the great parts about buying the M2. I'll quickly go over the car quickly because I do feel some issues with the wheels. We'll get to that. Anyway, we have painted on wipers, a nice clear panoramic windscreen on the front. Hood is a little bit loose, but hopefully it's nothing serious. And we can see gaps on the edge of the bumper there, which is unfortunate because this one did not have it. Obviously, like I said before, it's a different car. I do like the center grille there, and Chrysler written across the front of the hood. It's just kind of hard to see because you can see that the silver letters on the white of the vehicle. I do believe they are all... So I'll just quickly get to it. It's the wheels. As you can see there, they don't want to move. So what's happened is you can see there the gap. It is huge, and it is preventing the wheels. So I'm gonna have to take it apart and cut it down if I decide to roll the back. The rear wheels are okay. The front wheels are a little bit stupid. Sorry, it just bothers me. Anyway, left-hand drive. I do like the 300. The 300 logo right in the middle. It does look like a slightly shorter car, at least with the scale model. Just gonna bring that up. I'm not focusing. Anyway, beige interior. That door opened nice and easily. Huge, massive M2 steering wheel is obviously not to scale like the rest of the car. Hubcaps looks decent. They look better than that, but the intricate details, it looks like it's just stamped over. They are red wall tires, but as you can see there, the tires are not a uniform size, so therefore the red wall, and as you can see there, how loose the rubber is on the plastic, could be a little bit of what's contributing to that tire getting stuck. Like I said before, there's the 300 logo. Gas cap clearly has been moved because I don't see it here, and I don't see it on the other side. The little Hellcat is just there. Pulling that out. What I was talking about earlier about the bumper gap is that you can see it's moving. Not a huge issue if it's going to stay inside, but obviously it's a large one piece rather than the slightly smaller of the previous version. It does have that Dodge Charger, I think it was the 2013-2017 aesthetic to it. Anyway, the wings of the car, as was common in 50s vehicles, fins, that's where the brake lights are located. We do have two smaller taillights just underneath. SRT with the Hellcat on the right side of the vehicle and the Hellcat written on the license plate. The other thing we'll be taking a look underneath, as I forget, is the fact what year model car this is, because like I said before, it's going to be very difficult for it to be a 300F of 1966 if the 300F was only built for 1 year, and that was 1960. Like I said, they haven't painted this wheel. Like those wheels, the hubcap looks extremely similar, except it has the 300C. That would have been nice if they painted it on all the wheels, but they did not. Anyway, onto the right side, there is the 300. There is the door, and once again, it opens fairly easily. I did not struggle. And there you can see the aesthetics of the door, which, by the way, I don't believe. It would have been nice, but perhaps a larger scale model. Look at the Astrodome. Center console. That's the driving console Chrysler introduced. Futuristic concept, I believe, was common to these cars. This is the performance vehicle of their lineup. The Imperial would have been higher, and a bunch of other vehicles lower. So, what else to cover? Lots of chrome, as I pointed out before with these 50s car. As you can see here, the wheel wants to move, but as soon as you try to move both of them, it just does not want to. And you can see there, it's the rubber. Anyway, we'll move the car underneath, and it still says 1966. So it's just a continuation error. You can just go look it up yourself if you don't believe me. That's fair too. But the F would have been third generation. That thing there's the second generation. So if that's 1957, 58, 59, and this one would have been 60. DE, right? 2 car versions for 2 years. Anyway, there you see the M2. There you see 2024 cast line. The 152-270R. We've brought that up before. It's right there. And you can see the 10th day of this year is when this was made, and it is exactly right there. Alright, so what to say, the final thing I will cover is, like I said, I'm going to have to open this and then reduce the wheels. I don't believe it happened on this thing, but this thing is the previous generation, so therefore we can't really use it for reference. You've seen how much smaller it is. Still looks nice though. Don't hesitate on buying if you happen to see it and it is not completely destroyed. Perhaps I will get a more plain, not blue, pearlescent-ish color version of this car. Hood opens nice and wide, which is great. You can see the engine. But clearly it is a much smaller vehicle. So the bumper, because of how big it is, does make it a little bit weird to hold. And popping the hood is not easy on this thing because it does not have the overlap. However, I finally got it. 2 seconds. And as you can see, there is the engine code. So you can't really tell because the parts are very small, but this should be the cross ram version of the engine. Golden line, also a V8, nearly 7 liters. I believe it's a 413. This is not the performance version. I highly doubt this is the wedge head version of the engine. But it does appear to be, and this is a highly unusual, on a slight angle. Well, to be fair, on a serious angle. Not quite transverse, but clearly on a slight, I don't know if this is an M2 issue or the actual Chrysler product like that. Anyway, so there we have it, the 1960 version, not 66 version of the car. And I guess it's something they're not going to correct. Clearly, I'm not going to do it. But as you can see there, the undercarriage of the vehicles are entirely different because they are slightly different cars. This one is just so much bigger. Anyway, I do believe they're both 1/64 scale. I don't see why they wouldn't continue with their... Yeah, it claims to be 1/64. The both of them. And just to show you, I think where M2 has sort of saved money is this. Anyway, so there we have it, the SRT Hellcat-ish version of the Chrysler 300. Like I said, not terrible looking. I do like this aesthetic. The engine, like most of these cars, you can just see how wide the hood's open. Great to look at, great to display, and you can't go wrong. The one major issue, like I said, is they still promote the fact that it's 1966 and it's not 1966. Anyway, fans and friends, thank you for watching this video. This is Thomas from Toronto, and till the next one. I'm not going to do the roll test because this thing will not move. It's clear that it does this one, so there we go. Like certain Chryslers, they don't want to move. Anyway, till the next one, and take care.